if you paid attention to the video, it did made mention of its advantages, its essential impacts, and also its disadvantages, no, because we don't actually believe that everything is good, no. If masubraan po siya, or if it's not managed enough, it's not regulated, it will eventually become a disadvantage. Just like what we know about technology, no. Technology is very helpful, no. It's vital, it's essential. I mean basically nowadays dili naman ta mabuhi kung uh wala joy technology, di ba? Wala na yung artificial intelligence, murag we rely heavily on technology. But if we don't know how to responsibly use it or responsibly regulate it, if we abuse it, it also becomes like a disadvantage. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Just like tourism, if it's not regulated, if dili pud siya tarungon o manage, it could have harmful effects on the economy, just like para sa ano, like in the tourism multiplier effect. If dili man if di man ta mo patronize on local produce or what is provided by locals, no, eventually ang maka-benefit is ang katong mga outsiders or foreign companies nga gastay sa ato ang country. Imbes kita tani ang maka-benefit from tourism, nga maka-boost siya sa ato ang economy, so wala na lang kayang iban man nga tao ang maka-benefit, especially katong mga naa sa mga foreign companies. So later on I will explain. No, it might be confusing to you right now, but later on I will explain it. I'm sorry, gaubo pa ta kay flu season. Just got the flu few weeks ago, so till karon still suffering the effects of that. So anyway, so this is chapter 4, the economics of tourism and hospitality. We are done with the history of tourism and hospitality, which is a very quite long chapter. It took us several discussions pa pod. So with here, actually very long po ni sa economics of tourism. So probably half of this or just a portion of this will be part of the midterm, and then the remaining portion of this slide will be part na po sa finals. Okay, so actually you already listened to the tourism teacher, no? She actually explained it well, the impacts of tourism to our economy, the tourism multiplier effect. But let me just add on to what she discussed on the video. So tourism's economic impacts are touted by the industry for a variety of reasons. Claims of tourism's economic significance give the industry greater respect among the business community, public officials, and the public in general. This often translates into decisions that are favorable to tourism and hospitality industry. And I think we already established this one way before pa jud sa first chapter nga dako jud kaayog impact ang tourism sa atong economy because it generates jobs. It helps provide opportunities for local businesses to earn income. Kay di ba as what you have seen in the video, no, nga like fishermen or those who are in like the grocery stores, especially if it's not owned by a foreign company, if it's just like local lang siya nga grocery, locally owned grocery lang siya, maka-benefit ang mga local businessmen ana, because although they're indirect sila nga part sa tourism industry because they're not really related to tourism industry, kay mayong kag directly related kana man ang go-work sa mga hotels, even the transportation sector gani, no, it's both directly and indirectly involved in tourism. Kay pwede man siya sa tanan, pwede po siya sa tourist. So usually related to tourism, mga attractions, hotels, resorts, no, tour and travel agencies. Ang mga indirectly related kay kanang mga grocery, fishermen, kanang naa sa agriculture sector, but they can still benefit from tourism because they help supply the basic goods and necessities kinahanglan sa mga hotels in order and restaurants in order to serve their guests or the tourists. So that's why the tourism industry is kano kanang murag we depend so much on the tourism industry when it comes to economic growth. And right after I mean right during the pandemic, 'di ba, we were greatly affected because we rely so much on tourism as our main source nga no mas stable ang ato ang economy. And because wala naman na hunong naman ang travel, and let us remember that our key players, mga tag key players, people that are essential to the tourism industry, one of them are our tourists. They are the lifeblood of our tourists are basically the lifeblood of the tourism industry, because kung walay turista, wala po yung mga businesses related to wala po yung businesses related to tourism, wala po yung mga hotels, no? Kasi syempre kung walay turista, kinsa man pud ang serbisyohan sa mga hotels, no, and other restaurants. People cannot travel, people cannot go out of their homes. So when the pandemic came, we were greatly affected, we were greatly hit because we depend so much on tourism for our economic growth. May gani kay naa si BPO. BPO, mo na sila ang mga nasa call center, no, sila joining salo, no, sa ato during the pandemic para dili jud mo ubos ang ato ang uh, economic stability. So anyway, we will be talking about that, no? All throughout the discussion, we will be talking about the importance of the impact of economics to tourism and vice versa. So community support is important for tourism and hospitality as it is an activity that affects the entire community. Tourism and hospitality businesses depend extensively on each other as well as on other businesses, government and residents of the local community. Economic benefits and costs of tourism and hospitality reach virtually everyone in the region one way or another. And let us try to take note that it's not just the tourism industry who greatly benefits, no, with what is happening with our economy. Even the public, the private sector, travel intermediaries, suppliers, all of them, some of them may not be directly related to tourism, but they greatly benefit they greatly benefit from the tourism industry. So at the end of this lesson, again there's one student who asked me if they're going to answer the learning outcomes. You're not going to answer the learning outcomes. The learning outcomes is just there as a murag, by the end of the lesson, you are expected to learn these things. Okay, so at the end of this lesson, you're expected to explain the role of tourism in hospitality and economic development, because syempre, now that you have basic knowledge on the role of tourism and hospitality in the economy, you'll be able to explain it eventually on your own. But you're not going to, it's not an activity, it's just a learning outcome. Next is you'll be able to analyze the economic impact of tourism and hospitality on a destination area. You'll be able to differentiate the direct effects from the secondary effects of tourist expenditures on the economy of the host area. And then next is to elucidate the meaning of tourism multiplier and its effect on the economy of the host country. So I'll be explaining to you the context or the concept of the tourism multiplier, but it has a computation. I will not indulge you with the computation yet. It's important that you understand its concept first before we proceed with the computation. Probably we're going to deal with that by finals na. Okay? And its effect on the economy of the host country. You'll be able to describe the undesirable effects of the economic aspects of the tourism and hospitality. And lastly, you'll be able to identify the strategies which can maximize the economic effects of tourism and hospitality. So let us now continue with the role of tourism and hospitality in economic development. So several developing countries have used tourism and hospitality development as an alternative to help economic growth. So, the tourism and hospitality is mo na ilahang gihimog alternative, no, kay di naman madala sa business sector lang, dili na madala pod sa uban nga like the agricultural sector, di naman nila madala og tabang ang economic growth jud on their own. And we have the tourism and hospitality industry wherein not only nga fast growing si tourism and hospitality, but daghan po kayo siyang mga tourist arrivals, especially if the destination is very popular. Tendency is, since daghan man maabot, no, daghang tourism expenditures, that can actually help, no, with the growth of the economy. And that will be explained later on with the tourism multiplier. And let us try to remember from the video, di ba? Nakita na to nga, kung mag-spend ang tourist for just his breakfast, like an omelette and a freshly squeezed juice, kana yung gibayad, kana pala niya hang pag avail sa services ana nga restaurant. Mo nang gitawag siya multiplier effect. Kay naa siya ripple effect. Dili lang ang hotel or ang restaurant ang maka-benefit because of his pag-avail sa service atong breakfast, kundi daghan nga tawo. Okay, katong waiter, then later anang schools, tanan na abot na sa agricultural sector. So mo na ang multiplier effect. One action of a tourist can help multiply to different kinds of sectors. Maabot ang iyahang pag-spend, no? Maabot siya to different kinds of sectors because, no, nga nag-purchase lang siya ato nga kind of meal. It's confusing at first. Anyway, we will have an illustration on the tourism multiplier effect para mas ma-intindihan pa jud ninyo. So, there are so many reasons why countries have used tourism and hospitality as their means for economic growth. One of the reasons are, first, there is a continuous demand for international travel in developed countries. And since there is, like what we noticed, diba, in the history of tourism, kung daghan gani mag-travel sa usa ka lugar, sa time ato ni Thomas Cook, if you can still remember, history of tourism and hospitality. um, yes, Josh, Josh ba to? What's the name niya? Ask ko permission.
Miss, pwede ko
As long as
maka-dismiss,
it's
miss. Good evening, miss.
good evening. As long as it's if that is really truly an emergency, then you may. Kung emergency jud,
Miss, kay
tinuod. Sige,
nadula
sige.
ako nga alit, miss. Yawa mo pangita, miss. Kay inaano ko pa, miss. Hindi ko di mapakalit sa subong, miss.
Sige, sige.
Patutubi ka
Okay.
na ako na lawans,
So you
miss.
may leave. Okay. So leave ka so at least may peace of mind ka once you will find your wallet.
Sige,
You
miss.
can leave the.
Thank you,
Okay.
miss.
Okay. Your excuse. Come back if you have found your wallet na ha.
Thank you.
Anyway, hapit. Oo, sige, sige. Okay, let us go back. So, again, no, if you can still recall our discussion on the history of tourism and hospitality. So, if daghan gani mo travel sa ka lugar, then a certain destination will be encouraged to develop more infrastructures like hotels, which are accommodations, diba? And then food and beverage sector, kay syempre ang mga mo travel dira mangita man jud nagkan-anan, shopping centers, no, entertainment facilities, because when a tourist travels, they have so many needs, no, and labi na if there are a lot of people who are traveling na to your place, you need to really cater to those needs. So, since there is a continuous demand for international travel, that opts for more development sa usa ka lugar based on their infrastructure and services. Okay? Then second, as an income in developed countries increases, the demand for tourism and hospitality also increases at a faster rate. Okay, syempre, di ba, like what we said, if you have more disposable income, meaning extra money, you have paid all of your bills, and then that is already your disposable income na ang nabilin, then you can immediately afford travel na, no? So muna nag-increase ang demand for tourism and hospitality due to the increase of income, uh, and it increase on a faster rate. And third, developing countries need foreign exchange to aid their economic development, and they can achieve this one through muna siya, no, increase in travel, increase in tourism arrivals, especially among foreign tourists. So the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, as we call it, OECD, has concluded that tourism and hospitality provides a major opportunity for growth to countries that are at an intermediate stage of economic development and require more foreign exchange earnings. So, muna, no, ang OECD mismo, no, they encourage uh, travel, they encourage more economic development through foreign exchange, no, and we can avail that one through tourism and hospitality. So let us try to see the advantages of tourism and hospitality in the economy, no? So in tourism and hospitality, the consumer collects the product from the exporting country, thereby eliminating the freight cost for the exporter, except in cases in which the airline used are those of the tourist receiving country. And then the demand for pleasure travel is also largely dependent on non-economic factors such as local disturbances, political unrest, and changes in the fashionability of resorts or countries created mostly by media coverage. At the same time, international tourism and hospitality is both price elastic and income elastic. So what do you mean by price elastic and income elastic? This means that dili should siya fixed price, no? Sometimes labi na ang atong industry very seasonal, na ay times nga peak season siya, na ay lean season. Ang lean season gani guys, kuani siya, dili kaayo daghan mga tourists, di kayo daghan mo travel kay ting klase, dili kayo pang holiday. Katong ang mga peak season mo ni siya ang like Christmas or summer, wherein daghan ang mo travel. So since guys nga seasonal man lang ato ang industry, this means nga dili sa tanang panahon ang rate sa mga hotel rooms the same. If it's peak season, syempre mumahal na sila kay mo bawi na sila sa lean season, wherein wala kay sila income. While ang lean season, magpanubo na sila prices kay few man lang ang ga-travel. So if gamay lang ang travel og ang tourist, tendency ana no, if mahal pa jud, wala lang jud mo book sa ilang rooms, wala jud mo avail sa services if it's already expensive. Nihit pa kaayo. Unless kung daghan, like for example, no, recently bago lang nag-conclude ang amo ang Pinta Flores Festival. So usually basalin season mga ting klase, no, dili man kaayo na siya daghan ang occupancy sa mga accommodation facilities here in San Carlos City. Pero pag nanagani mga fiesta or celebrations, almost fully booked tanan na pagay uban nga magpataas og prices, pero naradya po mo avail ato regardless of the expensive prices because there is a demand. Okay? There is a demand, just like in economics, no? If there is a high in when the supply is low and there is high in demand, the prices will eventually go up. But if there is low in demand and the supply is eventually abundant, so the prices will go low. Okay? So that is why our industry is very price elastic and income elastic. So mag-change ang price and income and also the demand for pleasure travel. Kaya even the trends in travel class mag-usab-usab na sila. Dili man sa tanang panahon parihas man ang travel trends, no? Per year. Then by using specific fiscal measures, the exporting or tourist receiving country can manipulate exchange rates so that those for tourists are higher or lower. Normally, the latter is implemented in order to attract large numbers of tourists than those in other foreign trade markets. Also, tourists are allowed to buy in domestic markets at the same prices as the local residents. That's the nice thing um, about the tourism industry because, take for example, why do you think nga daghan kay mo agto sa Bangkok, mamalit sila daghan kay mga kuan, then mobalik na sa Pilipinas, they're going to sell it on in a higher price. Kay syempre no, masking turista ko, once I go to Bangkok, kung unsa ang presyo nga ibaligya sa mga taga Thailand, mo pud ang presyo ibaligya sa ako. Purya na lang ng mga scammers, no? Even gani here in the Philippines, maunay man gani ano, like matingalan na lang ko nga presyo sa motorcycle kay walay tariff sabi kay labi nag-island. I will not mention the place ha. Big Island mo sakag 100, 250 pero ang kung moagto ka sa like ko ano like what I appreciate in Sagay kay 20 ra jud na ang kuan. Masking kabalo sila nga dili ka taga dira, makabalo man siya ng mga tao no. Pero 20 ra jud na ang price nga ihatag masking layo pud ang distance sa imuhang biyahian. Like kung magtukot sa ka-island no nga, moingon pa, ikaw lang bahala ma'am, ya pag abot dito, tagaan ra nimo 50. Moingon pag nimong 250 man ang rate, no? Moingon pa sila nga ikaw ra bahala, per sila day mo hatag Japan sa price. So in tourism, what is nice is that purya na lang sa mga scammers or mo take advantage sa mga tourists or mga non-locals. Pero usually in tourism, once you travel to a different country, alam na ikaw foreigner ka, like you travel to Indonesia, to Thailand, kung unsay price ana gi-offer sa locals, same price will be offered to you, no? Unsa ang exception? The exception are duty-free tourist shops operated in many Caribbean islands because they have a separate price for tourists. Okay. Fourth one, tourism and hospitality is a multifaceted industry. So when we talk about multifaceted, we sometimes we even call the tourism products and services as a conglomerate. A conglomerate. Usually, if you watch K dramas, you often hear about conglomerates, no, or a conglomeration. So when we talk about conglomeration, ang tourism industry, or we call it a multifaceted industry, it comprises of several sectors, but usara jud sila ka industry. Let's say the tourism industry comprises of accommodation, activities, uh, transportation, amenities, um, what else? Activities, events, no, daghang klase, no, ang ga-comprise sa tourism, food and beverage, no. So daghan kay ga-comprise sa tourism and hospitality sector, but they have they function as one. Okay? Ang conglomeration usually in business, like for example, you're what do you call it, a very rich billionaire, and you own a conglomerate of businesses, like you own a bar, shopping center, spa, hotel, resort, restaurant. Lain-lain na sila nga klase nga businesses, but that is still under one management. Same goes sa muna usahay we liken the tourism hospitality tourism and hospitality to a conglomerate because it's a multifaceted industry. So there are several sectors such as hotels, shops, restaurants, local transport firms, entertainment establishments, handicraft producers, and indirectly affects many others such as equipment manufacturers and utilities. And later on in the tourism multiplier, you will see that tourism activities itself can affect direct and indirect jobs in the tourism industry. So, sa mga spending pa lang daan ni tourist, ang makabenefit ana, not just the direct jobs in tourism, like waiters or those in hotels or those in tour and travel agencies, but also indirect jobs like farmers, fishermen, other local businessmen, ba? So, daghan ang makabenefit from tourism. Tourism and hospitality brings many more non-monetary benefits and costs. So, dili lang more on income, but daghan po kay benefits and cost other than export industries such as social, cultural, and environmental benefits and cost. So, what is the economic impact of tourism? So, when travelers outside the destination area spend on goods and services within the destination, tourism and hospitality acts as an export industry by bringing in revenues from outside sources. Okay, so syempre, no, we're not only talking about import but also export as well. Tourism expenditures also increase the level of economic activity in the host area directly. So, ma'am, ano, matawag man siya og kuan, export industry. Syempre, um, kani pa lang daan ng tawag export industry class, kani pa lang daan the mere fact nga, you have tourists outside of the destination area. Let's say, you have German, Americans, Koreans. These are foreign tourists. They are travelers outside the destination area, and that is the Philippines. And they're bringing their foreign money and exchange it to Philippine peso in order for them to spend on goods and services within the Philippines. That's already the export industry. No? So, di nakakinahanglan, imbis kita mag-export ta og, let's say, bananas, mangoes, ratan, kanang mga pandan bags from Calatrava, rather than we export them outside of the Philippines and mugasto pa tag mga export cost kay syempre i-ship out pa na nato, di ba? Nya mapila pa na kabulan maabot sa laing lugar once we export it to other countries, makasave ta with tourism, no? And hospitality industry because we won't be spending on export cost anymore. Ang mga turista na mismo nga gikan sa lain nga nasod, different countries, they come to our country to buy our local products. So, do you get my point? Marag ka ng, kung sa Shopee pa na ba, instead mo bayad pa kag shipping fee para makuha nimo ang imuhang gusto nga item, ikaw na lang mismo mo agto sa lugar para mo palit sa item. You're actually bringing the consumers to your destination instead of you bringing your products to the consumers outside of the Philippines. Okay, and that is the nice thing about tourism and hospitality. It's an export industry, but you don't have to export goods outside of your country. You can just bring the consumers to your country. I hope you're able to get the idea of that. Okay, so let us proceed. Many countries have utilized tourism and hospitality as a means to increase foreign exchange, earnings to produce investment necessary to finance economic growth. The tourism and hospitality industry's economic impact on a destination area can be immense since it provides a source of income, employment, and foreign exchange. O foreign exchange in a way of muna ano magpabaylo ba na sila. We don't actually have I mean, not all tourists will use circular notes. If you can remember the history of tourism, di ba? Thomas Cook introduced circular notes as a means to pay if you don't have money changer, no? Sa una pa na nga panahon per karon, no, we have foreign exchange already. We have money changers na, so foreign money can be exchanged to peso, no, so that they can spend their money in the Philippines. Okay, mga foreigners can spend their money in the Philippines. Usually, ito ba mga target ra ba no kanang mga high-spending countries like the US and Germany. No, Germany is one of the highest-spending European countries. And Europe, base pala na sa itong gidiscuss sa previous meetings na to, Europe and US has the highest tourism or travel flows. Okay, let us now proceed to the direct and secondary effects. In order to measure the economic impact of tourism and hospitality on the destination area, it is important to know the direct and secondary effects of visitor expenditures on the economy of the area. So, tourist expenditures received as income by businesses as hotels, restaurants, car rentals, tour operators, retail shops serving tourists have a direct effect on the economy of the host area. Okay, so let's talk about tourism expenditures. Now, let's say I don't know if kamo kung naklasiyan ani or ang other section. So, um, let's say you have an increase in tourism arrivals in Sagay. Ambot na ko naka-mention ko ani per. Let's just have a recall. And then this tourist can spend at least 140 US dollars per day. If you convert that to peso, I think that is around na sa mga kuan 11,000, 8 to 11,000 dili na siya kuan ha, dili na siya murag accurate jud, so nara around 8 to 11,000. So imagine siya lang usa 8 to 11,000 per day. Dayon mo extend siya siyang stay for 15 days. 8 to 11,000 multiplied by 15 days. Mo na ang iyahang maggasto lang for those 15 days alone. So lapas or almost 500,000, let's just say. Karon atoy butang siya na usaha, almost 500,000 na iyang magasto. What if you have 500 tourists visiting your place? So almost 500,000 multiplied by 500 tourists who also spends the same kind of amount. Dako na siya kay income sa lugar. And it's not directly jud ha nga ang city jud ang makuan, but daghan ang makabenefit ana sa kana nga income. We call that one tourist expenditures. Ang tourist expenditures are the money spent spent by tourists when they avail of different tourism products and services. This could be earned as income by hotels. Direct na siya ha, direct effect. Hotels, restaurants, car rentals, tour operators, retail shops. Those are examples of direct effect because these are directly related to the tourism industry. Okay? So the term direct means the income is received directly. Mo spend ko og money because I want to eat in this restaurant. That's a direct effect. Kay ako, gabayad kog money to eat food. Example, ako turista ko. I'm going to buy money to eat food in this restaurant. And I'm going to pay. Okay, syempre, everything has a price. I'm going to pay this amount just to eat this food in this restaurant here in the Philippines. So, ang income nga makuha sa restaurant from the tourist, foreign tourist, let's say American or German, that's a direct effect, direct income. The income is received directly. Indirect or secondary effect, it means that the money is paid by the tourist to businesses who are in turn used to pay for supplies, wages of workers, and other items used in producing the products or direct services bought by the tourist. What is a perfect example of an indirect or secondary effect? Kanang fisherman and farmer. Sila man ay gasupply og vegetables, produce, and fish sa restaurant kung asa kagakaon. Syempre sila, they are paid by the restaurant para makasupply sila og fish and vegetable to the restaurant. That's an indirect effect. Although for example, ako nga farmer, ako na po as an example, ako nga farmer, ako nga fisherman, I am not paid directly by the tourist, but the mere fact that ginabayaran ko sa restaurant kung asa gakaon ng mga turista para matagaan ako sila og supply like fish and vegetables, I can already benefit from the tourist, but in an indirect way. Okay? That's an example of a direct and that's an example of a secondary effect rather. Secondary or an indirect effect. I hope you're able to understand that. Were you able to get my point? The difference between direct and indirect or secondary effect. If you got the idea, you can just click the um, thumbs up button. If you nakagets ka mo sa difference between direct and indirect or secondary effects. Okay, thank you so much for confirming. Let us now proceed to the tourism multiplier. We did made mention of the indirect and direct effects of the tourism expenditures. Si indirect o direct are the suppliers, like the people who provide food for the restaurant, and the restaurant is the direct, no? Sila maka-experience a direct effect. Now, the tourism multiplier is used to describe the total effect of both the direct and secondary. Okay? So, si tourism multiplier both na naiyaha. Okay? The effect of both the direct and secondary or indirect effect of an external source of income introduced to the economy. Mubito na siyang gitawag siyang multiplier effect class because it multiplies. It branches out. Imagine ikaw kung turista ka, let's say ikaw, you have the means to travel, let's say, abroad. Or masking not just abroad, no? If masking dili lang locally. Travel abi ko sa San Carlos, ma'am. I'm not from San Carlos City, so I will be considered a local tourist because I will travel to San Carlos City and I'm from Sagay. Now, kana ko ang paggasto sa mga different tourism services and products sa San Carlos City, that can have a multiplier effect. Akong kwarta pa lang mismo, akong gigasto for the tourism, products and services mo, multiply na siya. Okay? So, itong i-illustrate para mas maintindihan pa siya ninyo. Ato ang i-illustrate. Muni ang mga travelers, tourist. Mo pay silang money in order to travel, di ba? Syempre, no, they need to travel by motor coach, train, cruise liner, RV, automobile, air, no, depende na kung sa ilang mode of transportation for them to get to a destination. So, once they travel, They pay. That's a direct, no, they have a direct effect. And then they also avail of several things, no, like lodging, campground, depende na nila, no, kung moagi ba sila amusement park, mo avail ba sila entertainment services, so, syempre mo palit sila pagkaon, no. So kani siya, guys, they're also spending money on this different like amenities, accommodation, facilities, okay? And then eventually, di man sila moagi jud og school and farm, no? But eventually, all of their money will also proceed to the bakery, school, farm, and bank. Kung ano maabot man diri, ma'am, nga usually si traveler ang yarang spend nga money is diri raman usually. Kaning nasa blue and green, mo man ni siya ang mga direct effects. Diba? And then kani pong mga people involved in providing all of these services, kamo nga mga future hoteliers, no? And tourism professionals, kamo nga ga-serve aning mga different tourism services like transportation, accommodation, amenities, you are also considered as direct effects, no? Kay syempre kamo man ang ginakuan. But there's also an indirect effect on bakery, schools, farm, banks, and even kanang mga suppliers like outside goods and services, local goods and services, because for example, si traveler nag-avail ani mga services, no, kaning nasa green nya, kamo nga ga-serbisyo maka-benefit pud mo ana kay tungod you have jobs because of the travelers. Kung walay travelers, dili mo ma-employ sa cruise ship, dili mo ma-employ sa mga hotel, dili mo ma-employ sa restaurant to provide services to the tourist. If wala ang mga turista, wala pud may trabaho. Syempre, no, umampun na siya. Or either kung namo may trabaho, dili pud related to the tourism industry. So let's just put it at that, no. Sila man jud inyong lifeblood. You experience both the direct effects here because ang tourism industry or ang cruise line, automobile, ang mga hotels, no, kani lodging hotels o ang restaurants, they could directly benefit from the money of the travelers. Kaya gabayad sila sa services directly ani nila to avail these services. Muna akong gidiscuss kanina. Now, ang indirect effect po sa multiplier effect, sorry, is when kamo directly na affected po ani because of the travelers, you have a job, you will get to be paid salaries. Syempre, ikaw chef ka or front office ka, mabayaran man siya kag sweldo in just catering the needs of your travelers. Kanang sweldo nimo, especially if you have children. Ano to sa video, di ba? Explain to sa video. If you have children, you send them to school by the salary that you earned from working in the tourism and hospitality industry. Ikaw nga chef ka, nagluto kag pagkaon para sa mga tourist, so you spend your money to send your children to school, to buy food in the bakery or sa farm, or to even invest your money in the bank. So si school, si bakery, and si farm, and even si bank, even if they are not directly involved in the tourism industry, they can still indirectly benefit from the tourism industry because tungod sa sweldo sa gawork sa mga hotels, tungod sa sweldo ni chef, tungod sa sweldo ni front office agent, uh, or ni let's say not front office agent, um sa tawagan na limot na ko sa term. So tungod sa front office employee or ni doorman, no, tungod sa sweldo nila naay income ang school, abi nag-private, no, naay income ang school because of the tuition fee from the money sa mga employees sa hotel. Okay, padala lang anak dira, no. Ang mga bakery o ang farm, naapod sila ma-earn nga money or income from the wages or salary sa mga tourism employees because gapalit man sila og food from groceries, bakery sa farm. So, maka-earn og money si farm, di ba? Just like katong sa farmer og sa katong fisherman nga example na ko kanina. Ang bank po, no, syempre kay dili man na mo function, dili mo pod na mo operate ang bank if wala po mo deposit og money sa ilaha, wala po mo open og savings account, no? So ing ana. Same goes with the local goods and services and outside goods and services. Mga suppliers, okay? Dili man pud ni sila maka-income like para sa ako. Atong ibutang example ra na ha, example ha, dili man jud real life. For example, kuan abi ko, naaabi ko'y dairy farm and I also have a poultry farm. So ako di jud ko directly related sa tourism kay naman ko sa food and agriculture sector. Kay naman ko livestock and poultry. Kaning livestock and poultry nako ako may gikuha sa direct supplier sa mga restaurant. So meaning masking ako dili ko directly nga ginabayaran sa mga tourist, makakwarta ra gyapon ko sa mga turista kay tungod nila na ako'y kwarta kay ako ang ginabayaran sa mga restaurant to provide poultry products or dairy products to them. Okay, dairy products ng mga milk, butter, okay? So yung ana, that's a multiplier effect. Okay? So, ang imuhang kwarta, imagine na ikaw nga mo, travel ra ka mo, biyahe ra man ta kog San Carlos, oy. Pero daghan na kag naka-benefit sa ako ang nagasto. Kay, I'm not only supporting the tourism industry, but I'm also supporting the economy. Maya na ba? No? So, every time that you travel, you're actually supporting the economy. Kay, imuhang ginaspend dira, maadto na siya sa accommodation, restaurant, transportation, pasweldo sa mga empleyado sa hotel or sa restaurant, and then ang mga hotel and restaurant po, they can also afford to spend their money to get more supplies. Ang mga supplier po makakwarta po because of hotels and restaurants, so on and so forth. Even schools kami sa academe, diba? Ma'am, in what way man indirectly maka-benefit ang academe? Diba, awa ang NANESCOS or ang CSR. Ngano ga-open man mi og hospitality and tourism programs because there is a need for tourism and hospitality graduates nga mo work sa hospitality and tourism industry. Kamo nga future hoteliers, no, tourism professionals. Kay for example, no, ang atong industry service oriented, kindly mute your microphone. Thank you. So our industry, for example, is a service, for this example ha, this is real life. Service-oriented industry man jud ta, no? Manpower jud ta ga-rely. Kung dili trained ato ang mga manpower, maot pod ang quality sa ato ang services. Mao na siya nga mostly gina-prefer jud sa mga hotels and resorts is ilang i-hire ang mga nag-OJT nila nga mga tourism and HRM students kay tungod na sila background and experience already in the tourism and hospitality industry. And because of that, because there is a demand for tourism and hospitality graduates nga mutrabaho aning mga hotels, resorts, cruise ships, ang mga eskwelahan indirectly maka-benefit pod sa tourism and hospitality industry tungod kay maka-open na mi og program, tourism and hospitality programs. And like para mo sa private, kung daghan ganig magpa-enroll sa tourism and hospitality, daghan po nag-income among school and makapasweldo pod mi sa mga teachers. So see, even if kami nami sa academe, we can even benefit from the tourism industry. Okay? So daghan, no? Daghan kay siya kuan. Kung nga dili lang ingon nga gabayad ka ang mga hotels ra og resorts ang maka-benefit tanan. Every sector, even schools, banks, no? Other businesses, okay? BPO companies, daghan maka-benefit because of the tourism industry. Okay? So again, just to recap, with the traveler spends directly, ang directly maka-benefit from the money that they are spending as ang transportation industry, they spend money on transportation, different accommodation, amenities nga facilities like lodging, campgrounds, sports arena, amusement parks, travel agencies, food or restaurants, entertainment. They directly benefit from the money spent by the travelers kaysa naman mismo directly ginabayaran. Now, these restaurants, hotels, they also need people, okay? Kamo, no? Mga future hoteliers and tourism professionals to also work, no, and provide services ani atong mga travelers. And because of that, kamo nga ginasweldoan to cook for tourists, to book their flights, to assist them in their check-in and check-out sa hotel, to serve them food, to carry their luggage, kamo nga gi-employed to do all of those things to serve the travelers. You are paid salaries. Inyong salary dili lang na siya ingon nga kamulay maka-benefit ana. You can also maka-benefit po ang uban nga sector kay inyong salary gikan sa pagserbisyo sa mga travelers. And that money is actually coming from the income earned by the hotel and restaurant from the travelers. Maggamit na ninyo na nga kwarta to send your kids to school, to buy food sa bakery, farm, to invest your money in the bank, open a savings account. And kani sila, indirect ha, kaning nasa purple o nasa red, indirect effect ilang ma-feel, kay dili man jud ingon, kanang brag ning agi nagdaghag kamot, no? Damo nga kamot ang money sa tourist, but they can still feel and benefit from the tourism industry because you are employed, because you have the money, you can actually pay for the services that they provide here. Same goes with outside goods and services and local goods and services who provide supply to the tourism industry. Do you get my point? Okay? Munang multiplier effect, it multiplies. Ga-branch out siya. That's why the tourism industry is very vital to our economy because of this. And this is the tourism multiplier effect. Okay? Mauna nga sometimes when I hear other people no magbelittle sa tong industry nga mga tigisig ticket, pagwapara tigluto. That's an insult to our industry because we contribute so much to the economy. People just don't feel it because again nag-multiply na siya, nag-branch out na siya. Okay? And then we suffered a great loss even during the pandemic because again heavily reliant ta on the tourism industry rather provides, it generates a lot of jobs. And again, dili kaning employment ha sa tourism industry, this is not just limited to those who are working in hotels, those who are working in restaurants, in resorts. Even ikaw as, let's say, a local tour guide, or ikaw nga gabaligya kag insekwati pero gihimo kag tourism attraction kay tungod mo na identity sa destination because of your insekwati, you can even benefit from the tourism industry. Kung muna dako ako ang kuan ma'am, kanang kapihan ma'am kay una ani ma'am kanang kuan naman ni siya gabaligid ako insekwati nya later on kay kanang murag since tungod sa iyang unique taste nya karaan na po niya mo ang kapihan diri just like Titings in San Carlos City, daghan na kay mga turista mo agto diri i-feature me, so muna ning dako ni expand ang akong business, so I benefited also from the tourism industry. Ay nga na, so dili lang katong ga work sa hotels lang alone but even katong mga local businesses. Kung bitaw no nga we really need to kuan. Unsay setback lang ani? Setback lang ani is when the money spent by travelers dili directly maagto sa mga locals nga gapuyuan nga lugar. Unsay example ana? You look at Cebu. Daghan kayog mga international hotels dito. Marriott, Seda, Park Lane, sa pa mga lain international hotels dira. Daghan kayo no? Marriott is an international hotel. Ang maka-benefit ana ang mga foreign owners ana nga kuan dili jud ang local community. Although maka-benefit man pud indirectly ang mga locals nga employed anang mga international hotels, but labi na if all exclusive lang siya. Let's say all exclusive siya nga corporation, foreign corporation, dili pwede ang mga locals i-employ dira, mga foreigners tanan ng empleyado, samot na siya nga dili maka-benefit ang community. That's why we always need to patronize local. Kay para ang local po nang maka-benefit. If we buy from local businesses, small micro businesses, redundant na, small micro pa gani. Mga micro businesses, and especially if they are local, we are actually helping them. Okay? Mga local farmers, di ka kinahanglan mo export sa abroad. Kay if you have local farmers and local fishermen who provide food sa mga different restaurants, then sila pud na maka-benefit pud sila sa tourism industry. Okay, so a tourist makes an initial expenditure into the destination. This expenditure is received as income by local tour operators, handicraft store owners, hoteliers, and taxi drivers. In the first round of transaction, a hotelier may use some of the money received to buy some supplies, pay some wages, and retain some profits. The income in the second round may be spent or saved, while the employee who has received payment for services rendered may spend some of it on rent and some on food, and may put some into savings. The money spent on supplies on the third round of spending for such things as seed, fertilizers, and important raw materials, any income spent on imports has leaked out of the local economy. So again, this process continues until the additional income generated by a new round of spending essentially becomes zero. Leakage is the value of goods and services that must be imported to service the needs of the tourism and hospitality. To estimate the total economic impact on an area, imports must be subtracted from the income generated by visitors. So actually, there is a formula for the tourism multiplier effect, or the tourism multiplier in short. So the formula is K equals Y over E. K here is the multiplier, Y is the change in income generated by E, and E is the change in expenditure, which is the initial sum of money spent by the tourist. Now, we will not do computations for now. We will save that one by finals, but kung plano ani is, we will finish the entire economic slides by finals, and then also give you a situation wherein we can also compute it using the formula for the tourism multiplier. Sabi nyo lang no, ang tourism walay math. We in economics there is really a computation. I don't remember it clearly, but with general economics na po sila ilang own separate computation. So I think for price and demand I forgot already no. So kita po we have also the tourism multiplier. So the size of the multiplier depends on the extent to which the various sectors of the economy are linked to one another. When the tourism and hospitality sectors buy heavily from other local economic sectors for goods and services, there will be a smaller tendency to import, and the multiplier will be greater than if the reverse were smaller, tendency to import, and the multiplier will be greater than if the reverse were true. And we will just simplify this one once we have an actual scenario on where we can apply the tourism multiplier. So for now, we will just end our discussion here. But don't worry, we will still maximize the remaining time that we have left from 7 to 8 because I will be giving out an activity for you to answer in Google Classroom. Don't worry, it's just one question. Hopefully, you'll be able to answer it within tonight. Deadline will be until 12 midnight. But again, no, if maglisod mo sa connection, I can just extend the deadline until tomorrow. Okay? So, we can spend the remaining 1 hour answering the activity that I will post right after our class this evening. Okay? But before that, syempre, mag-attendance pa. Do you have any questions for me, students, before we end our class for this evening? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If none, I will now proceed with the attendance checking. If you are around, you can click your raise hand button or you can unmute your microphone, depende na sa inyo. We'll start first with, sorry. Okay. We will start first with John Vince.
Present, Miss.
Okay. Angelo. Geraldine. Argel. Bellarmino, Micaela. Biasca, John Patrick. Brillo, John Preach. Heden, Bukayan.
St. Miss.
Andrew, Bulahan. Regine, Camazora. Edgel, Chavez.
Present, Miss.
Cuerdo, Marian. De Los Santos, Glenda.
Miss Present Villarmino, Miss. Nag-run out, Abi.
Okay. De La Cruz, Samantha. Dianon, Sadhan. Jonery, Iborde. Adrian,
Present,
Emperador.
Miss.
Virgilio, Erin.